So we basically have three people: the bander, the grabber, and the recorder.
Prefix 954, 08561.
And they walk into the colony in the dark using headlamps. The birds are outside their burrows or inside. If they're outside, the grabber will lean down and capture them. They're gentle with the birds. It doesn't take a lot of effort to hold them on the ground. The bander will then look and see if it's been banded. If it has, they read the band to the recorder, recorded. If it hasn't been banded, they put a new band on. The recorder records the number of that band. Then they look for pox, which is a virus that may be infecting the birds. With the adults, we don't find very much of it. It'll often be pox that is resolved as the bird's healthy. And we look for a parasitic fly called a hippobossid fly. And just to see what condition they're in, record all of that and let the bird go. It doesn't take more than a few minutes, and the bird shakes itself off, walks around, looks back for its mate, goes back in its burrow, and keep on. They really have little fear of people, having evolved over 70 million years with few to no predators. So when you're out in the colony, you want to look for the burrows. I don't know if many of you have been out there. A few people, I don't know if you've been out there at all. But you know, the birds all nest in burrows in the ground. They make a hole, varies in size. Tonight we're recapturing wedge-tailed shearwaters that we banded in the past and reading their bands to find out where we banded them, whether they were banded in this colony or whether they were banded in another colony. And then if we find birds without bands, we also apply bands to those birds. We're trying to look at, are the birds here only from this colony? Are they coming from other colonies and moving into this colony? Are they recruiting from offshore islets? The only offshore islet we band on is Molokini, and we definitely find birds from Molokini on all of the colonies here on Maui.
On Maui itself, you were explaining earlier that the actual wedge-tail population is just a fraction of what it used to be, and the reasons for that is?
Reasons for that are that human beings have come and disturbed the habitat, changed it so that people could live there, and displaced the birds, and they brought predators. They brought pigs, they brought rats, they brought cats, they brought mongoose, and all of those eat the birds. Well, our natural resources are really one of the prime reasons that people come to our islands. The beauty and the wildlife that are here attract tourists to come here, and without them, that industry would suffer. Besides which, the birds were here and have a right to be here and bring nutrients from the sea to the land and then contribute to the whole cycle of life in that way. They provide guidance for fisher people going out to find fish. Aggregations of birds hover over aggregations of fish, and fishermen go and catch fish under the areas where the birds are. The birds are known as various ones as aki birds, aku birds, different ones that lead them to different fish populations. They're out to sea all of their lives. That's really where they live. They are sea birds. They come to shore to breed, to have their chicks. They return in the spring and spend a month courting, finding a new mate if they hadn't bred before, or reconnecting with their mate from the past. They're long-lived birds, and they mate for life for the most part. Maybe if you start here and work this side of the trail, because the other guys are working that side.
So I'm just going to run and do the one trap out there.
They were flying here when the vent brought up the lava that turned into the islands that we have. And when it was just bare mineral soil, the birds brought the organic nutrients from the sea, creating the soils in which our native plant community evolved.